Hello, this is going to be another short video tutorial on how to fix a scan in Geo Pro 3D. So to start with, we'll open a scan that was taken by our affiliate Fernando up in Utah. And when I opened it earlier for him, I noticed that that seems to be a flaw. And this flaw we'll be able to fix it. So you can see on the first line that he ran here, it almost has all negative values, or it's very, very low. And if we go down and turn off the default, let me widen that back up. Turn off the default filter here, the low frequency, then we can really see how dramatic that is. And we can go up and change it to the amplitude map and even see it more dramatic. So this messes up the whole scan because this is such a gnarly value that it offsets all the rest of the value and it can hide other things. But there's no real need to repeat the scan, and you can fix it, and it's not that hard to do. So basically we open our downloads folder, and then we select that scan file. Instead of opening it in this program, we just open it in Notepad. And so that scan file is going to look like this when you see it. It's going to look just like a regular old Notepad file. And we notice here at the top, our values are at 0. Okay, so actually I've got ahead here, but the values being at 0 is what's wrong. So that first line didn't capture any data. So in order to fix that, we have gone down in the list and we looked at our values from in the 500 up to 700 on the frequency, and then we were between, I think, 140 and 180 or 200 on the amplitude. So what we're going to do is put in a medium value up here in the amplitude here. We're just going to put a medium value of 160, and then on the frequency a medium value of 500, and that makes it kind of neutral. We just do that down the line for everyone that's a 0. So basically in this it was all 10 points, but I've gone ahead and done the rest of these in advance. So now what we're going to do is we'll just save this file as the same name, but I'm going to save it just as corrected 01. And then we save, and then we can go back into our Geo Pro 3D program and we can open that file. And there's our corrected. It's in our downloads folder. Okay, now we see a corrected version. So as you can see, it's quite a bit different than it was. And if we throw it through some filters here, okay, let's see, we'll put our low frequency on, and it gives us a huge low frequency spike. And that's normally, when it does that, that's normally where an iron target is. But being it right on the edge, that could as well be a mistake. We don't really know. And we could throw our high frequency on, and we do have a big high frequency target here, or it's actually, we just cut out our high frequency, so it's actually a low frequency target right in the middle. And that's interesting because this would be normally what a void or something like that looks like. Now I'm going to go back for a second and I'm going to reopen the original file. I'm going to show you why we need to fix these. So if we look at this file we have, and we're sitting in amplitude, either one, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to go over here and let the AI scan it for anomalies. Okay, and it's going to go through and auto scan that for anomalies. Takes it just a second. Okay, so you can see it's completed there, and it says anomaly detected score, 2 anomaly flags placed, and we can take a look and see where it placed these anomaly flags. Okay, so on frequency, it went ahead and gave us what looks like the iron anomalies. And if we move this to amplitude, and we're going to run that AI scan again, and we'll see what it comes up with the amplitude list. And this is kind of the problem, I believe, is what it'll do here, and show you what I mean. Now it's got 10 anomaly flags placed, and there's your 10 anomalies. So that is such an overwhelming low frequency that the other low frequency anomaly we had doesn't even show up. And this is all false reading, but the AI thinks there's an object there now or a feature there. So in order to correct that, we go in like I showed you. We correct those numbers in that file, and we reopen. Now this is based on the same map, and this is an amplitude version. We're going to run an AI scan again, and we'll see what it comes up with in the amplitude. Now, like I just showed you, we can actually AI scan each one of these modes. And it says 4 anomaly flags detected, and those are all around the same. That's interesting. So those iron did throw a high amplitude. So I would say those are real objects sitting here that are throwing the iron signature off. Now, if we run over here into frequency, we take a look at the map. There's our big low frequency hit. Okay, and then we already have our existing anomalies. And let's AI scan it again on frequency. See if it comes up with anything. And we can select over here how many times we want the AI to go over it. If we wanted to take a more thorough, deeper look, we can raise this number from 10 to 20 to 30. And it'll just run through all the settings to find out what we've got. 7 anomaly flags placed now. So there we go. Now we have there's our low frequency report right there. And we have one for iron. So when they dig this up, you should tell it what this was by selecting it, right clicking, and then you can select that flag. So whichever number that was, looks like a number 1 flag. This is another one that's marked as number 1, but each of these are different. Some are high frequency, some are low. But you can certainly see there's some type of a shield or void signature here. Pretty dramatic. Another one that lines up with it. You see here. And so we wouldn't have seen that, though. This would have never shown up until we corrected the data. And you can see we corrected it to a medium value. It shows up in medium value of green, and it all works out for us. And then if we take this and throw it into a point cloud, and we'll reduce our overall field here so it's not so dramatic. Okay, so we've got interesting data in here. We definitely have some interesting things going on in the point cloud. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and AI scan the point cloud as well. Now it's going to work on some pretty different versions of the field. It's going to look at the predicted field probably 70 feet across, even though we only scanned probably 10 feet. And we're going to let it go through this process. This is a pretty in-depth process here. It takes a little bit more time. So our scan's just this square in here. And this is it's called a predicted magnetic field. Based on what's happening in this little square, the AI can interpret and predict what's happening in the magnetic field way outside that boundary. But it uses all that information. Now you can see how small the scan area is, how big it's estimating the field. And it's only run through 5 of its 10. Because of that reason, it's having to crunch a lot of data. And I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM in this, so it should be done here in a second. 8 out of 10. Nine out of 10. This is 7 anomaly flags placed. Okay, and there they are up there. Okay, this is interesting. So this is really telling in this data, because what it just noticed was that void signature. It's eliminated one of the iron signatures, I believe. Oh, it picked them up both. So yeah, we're looking at both of the iron signatures and that void signature in the middle. It's thrown up and identified all of those in the field. So I would reduce the scan, but it tends to make our anomalies disappear when I do. Just like that. But that's how the AI is going to interpret this for us. So, pretty interesting. And when in point cloud, you can look at all the modes. So we can look at this in frequency. We can look at it in amplitude. And that void signature sure is neat. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and let that conclude. And we're going to wrap this up, and you can see how to repair the scans.